What's up YouTube, Zed here, backing in with another video, and I'm sorry for not uploading for a while now, but I've been very busy with school lately. I've actually been planning to upload more of a what's on my Android smartphone video, but I completely forgot, and well actually I didn't forget, but I was like so busy that I didn't have time to edit it. But that video should be up. I'm planning to edit that video either after this one or before this. It just depends when I get to it. But regardless, this here is a $1,000 Intel Core i7 computer build. Now this one is a high-end gaming PC that's going to be roughly $1,000. It may be a slightly bit more depending on when you buy it, but right now the price is about $1,000 on PC Part Picker. And also if some of these parts actually are available cheaper at retail stores such as Fry's and Micro Center. So you just want to watch for these deals, such as the i7-4790S, which is in this computer build. Comes in at a base price of $300 and plus on PC Part Picker through SuperBiz, but at Micro Center I saw as low as $240 on sale right now, so you're able to save 60 bucks. So with that being said, why don't we jump straight into this high-end computer gaming build that should be able to play all of your games 1080p max settings, and as well as handle some pretty high-end video editing as well as some pretty good CAD work. So with that being said guys, let's jump straight into the CPU. This here is the Intel Core i7-4790S, a 3.2 GHz overclockable processor on the LJ1150 socket. It is a Haswell CPU with 4 cores, and it does include hyper-threading, meaning it has 8 total threads. It's with 8 megs of level 3 cache, a TDP of 65 watts, which is pretty damn low. It includes a CPU cooler, though I would recommend going with something like a Hyper 212 Evo, since this is an i7 and a high-end gaming build. It does feature integrated graphics HD 4000, which means that if anything ever happens to our lovely R9 390, you can always switch over to these graphics and test out and I guess figure out whatever issue it is. Okay, whatever, let's move on to the motherboard. So the motherboard here is the ASRock Z97 Pro 4 ATX LGA1150 socket motherboard, obviously, because this is the only board that supports, well, not the only board, but this is the only socket that supports the i7-4790S. It is a ATX form factor, meaning that it's full ATX, pretty large, featuring a total of 4 RAM slots up to 2933 MHz DDR3 overclockable, 32 gigs of max memory. There is RAID support, there is Crossfire X, and there is a total of 4 SATA 6 gigabits per second ports, with one SATA Express, Gigabit Ethernet, and USB 3.0 headers on board. Z97 chipset. It's a really nice board for roughly around $110. And yes, I've actually seen this board cheaper, and according to the reviews, it's hitting about 4 to 5 stars, with everyone saying that it's pretty easy to overclock with, and the UEFI BIOS is actually pretty good. So for $100, that's the board that I chose. You can always opt for something like an Asus board for a bit more, but that's kind of if you really want to. Just kind of went for an ultra high-end sort of cheap build. Moving down to the RAM, this is gonna be enough for really anybody that's looking to do some high-end gaming and video editing. This here is the G-Skill Ripjaws X series 16GB memory, DDR3 1600 MHz, and there's 2 of them featuring a total of 16 gigs. There's 2 8-gig DIMMs, and yeah, it's really nice memory. I've used it before for around 70 bucks. You can always opt for 32 gigs of RAM, but for a PC that's going to cost you roughly $1,000, that's kind of a waste of money in my opinion. Moving down to the storage, we have the Samsung 850 EVO SSD. This is the 250 GB version for 2.5-inch size form factor, SATA 6 gigabits per second. It's literally the fastest consumer-based SSD out in the market, with one of the best software in terms of upgrading the firmware on these things. They're actually really easy to upgrade, and a lot of people recommend them for roughly around $100. I've actually seen these things even cheaper, of around 70-80 USDs. There's 250 gigabytes. Now this will mainly be for our storage, will mainly be for the games, for some of our video editing, things that you need faster to render faster, as well as your programs and your actual Windows installation. However, your media and your rest of your games that you can't fit on the 850 EVO will be housed on the Western Digital Caviar Blue 1TB 3.5-inch 72,000 RPM HDD. This one has pretty much 45 plus stars rating. So many people recommend it. SATA 6 gigabits per second for just 50 bucks. 64 megs of cache. It's an ultra fast hard drive that's pretty damn reliable, and it's actually coming at a very, very low price. Would highly recommend it. There's actually an option for 2 terabytes and 3 terabytes for a bit more, so if you need that extra storage, you can always opt to do that. Moving down, we have the Sapphire Radeon R9 390, an 8GB Nitro video card from Sapphire, well, what's this word? Supporting 3 90mm fans, I believe. A core clock speed of 1.01 gigahertz, 275 TDP, which is pretty damn well. Four-way Crossfire X. It's pretty large. It does support FreeSync. There is 3 display ports which support up to 4K video. That is the phone. Sorry about that. 1 HDMI. I believe it's a 1.4, but I'm not 100% sure. Dual link DVI, and it's overall a really nice card. I would highly recommend this over the 970, as it outperforms the 970 in about every single game. 8 gigs of VRAM is enough for you to be able to set yourself up for the future and be able to play pretty much any random game you want. And also it has 3 total fans for some pretty awesome cooling, and it's only around 320 bucks, so I highly recommend it. Moving down to the case, we have the Corsair 300R. It's slightly cheaper, slightly more than the 200R, but does offer a slight advantage to the 200R, though it's on sale for 50 bucks right now. There is 3 5.25 inch bays, 4 3.5 inch bays, supports full ATX motherboards. It does have USB 3 front panel, and also supports the R9 390 pretty damn well. It's a really nice small case for around 70 bucks, but it does actually support what's this case? I don't know. No, it's actually a sale of 50 bucks anyway right now. Moving down to the power supply, we have the Corsair CX 600 watt semi-modular power supply, 80 plus bronze certified, meaning it has, let me scroll down here, 85% efficiency, does support up to 2-way SLI, and yeah, 600 watts is enough for this. And if you ever need to upgrade to maybe a 980 Ti, I don't know why you do that, but if you ever need to, actually I do know why you do that, but if you ever need to, you have the option to with this 600 watt power supply. It is quite expensive, around 55 bucks, but I chose it anyways. Did not go for an optical drive because those are becoming obsolete. Now most people nowadays have one lying around, or they can buy one off eBay for literally 10 bucks, or you can even use a USB version. And there's also the option to actually there's also tools that you can use to convert your Windows installation to a USB flash drive, so you can install it directly from there. And most games people are getting from Steam anyways, so really it's kind of a waste of money. Unless if you really need it, then yeah, you should opt for an optical drive. That'll cost you around 20 bucks more. But overall, this is a PC, roughly 1,000 USDs. It's just an amazing computer with an i7, a R9 390. And just for around 1,000 bucks, I know a friend that built a computer for around $800, and he did not even have close to the specs. He in fact had an AMD processor. He had a GTX 960, and yes, I'm shouting you out, Pradeep. And overall, it was a pretty bad build. I actually pretty much always hate him for doing that build, because I always told him go for an i5, but he's like, nah man, I don't have that kind of money. I'm like, dude, here's a computer for 1,000 bucks, just slightly more than what you did, but it will help you out so much better in the long run, and you'll be able to play your games way better. But all he says is, I can play my games. That's the only excuse he has. But in the future, when 2 years from now, he'll be crying. Not really. Alright, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to smash the like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.